All right. Kansas. This is a team. Lance Leipold comes in. Andrew Kanicki is out, headed to Penn State. Jeff Grimes. Grimes is in. Brian Borland as the DC. Over under is 8.5. There is a downgrade, I think, from an OC standpoint. Kolnicki was, I think, the more creative guy. I'm not super high on Jeff coming in here. Here's the real problem for Kansas, or one of the real problems. They don't really have a home game this season. Their fans are going to have to travel for every game. Great long term for Kansas. This is a team that's getting a new stadium. There's new life breathed into this Kansas team. Most of their history, they haven't really had a home field advantage outside of maybe those Todd Reesing years. They've started to get one recently with the success that Lance has brought into this program, but they're going to be traveling. They got 2 games at Sporting KC, and then the other 4 games are going to be at Arrowhead, which is about a 40, 50 minute or mile drive from campus. That's a bit of a problem. Sure, the capacity is off the charts, but not having that home field advantage could prove to be deadly from a defensive standpoint, because defense is just, at the end of the day, comes down to effort. Yes, you have to be skilled at certain positions and you want real talent, but offensively, this team is probably going to be fine. Defensively, having that close enclosure, a real good home advantage, it can kind of boost the energy of your defense, and they make plays that they maybe weren't normally going to make, and kind of give them extra life. And that's where you could kind of see this play out. We'll see. It'll be an interesting dynamic as far as that goes. They're another team, though. Quarterback health is the major question mark. Jalen Daniels, we know what he is. He's a dynamic quarterback, very good when healthy, but he's dealing with a back injury. Those tend to flare up. We saw it last year. He's coming into this year relatively healthy. We'll see. I think the concern for Kansas is defensive and quarterback health. But running back, Devin Neal, I mean, one of the better backs in the conference, paired with Highshaw, who's also back. You've got a really deep wide receiver room for Kansas. All these guys average at least 17 yards per catch. The top 3 weapons for them in Arnold, Grimes, and Skinner. They're all back, all big play potential guys. Really nice there. The tight end room, got to look to get some more production out of that room this year. We'll see how that plays out. Offensive line will be interesting. They got this kid, Shane Bumgardner. He was the best D2 lineman last year. Got him in the transfer, but clearly they didn't feel comfortable enough with him, because they went out again to try to sum up that position. We'll see what it looks like. It'll be something to watch in camp for sure. DB, from a defensive standpoint, is obviously the strength of this team. Kobe Bryant, 2-time All Big 12 player. On the other side of him is Dotson. He gets picked on because of how good Bryant is, but make no mistake about it, Dotson holds up really well, especially for how often he's targeted. He's really good at making plays on the ball. Marvin Grant was huge for them. It's his 6th season in college football. You've got OJ Burroughs, who's a nice piece. The secondary is going to be where they try to really lean on. Offensively, or defensive line, I mean, the biggest question is going to be, can they get pressure? The coaches have been preaching to everybody who will listen to them that they really love their D tackle position, that interior position they feel really good about. Can they get pressure off the edge? Because it really doesn't matter much. They struggled there last year. If they can get pressure off the edge with this secondary, you feel a lot more comfortable about Kansas long-term this season. And then the question just becomes QB health again. The linebacker room is a bit of a concern. So it's another reason why they really have emphasized the defensive line and trying to beef up there and be really good. They got a great raw talent in Joby from Michigan State. Fantastic player. That was a really big win for them. So Kansas, there's reasons to be optimistic. I have them in my top 25. The offense is going